Let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating story, one that perfectly captures the raw power of human intent, wisdom, and selfless courage. So, meet Arjun. He's a young, completely ordinary orphaned woodcutter living in the quiet, serene village of Sundarpur. Now, Arjun doesn't have any magical powers, no royal bloodline, or anything like that. It's just him, his trusty axe, a strong work ethic, and a genuinely good heart. But as you'll see, this totally ordinary guy is about to be thrown headfirst into an absolutely extraordinary, world-bending crisis. To set the scene, Sundarpur is a thriving, incredibly peaceful place. Literally right before everything goes wrong, Arjun is having this completely mundane, everyday chat with his neighbor, Uncle Balram. Balram is teasing the 25-year-old Arjun, telling him, it's high time he settled down and found a wife, instead of living all by himself. He even jokes that Arjun is the most handsome and smartest guy in the village, so he deserves to marry a princess. Arjun just laughs it off, saying Balram is always joking around. It's a snapshot of perfect, quiet village life. But well, we know the calm never lasts. Because suddenly, the unthinkable happens. Ask yourself this: how does an entire village lose literally every single drop of its water overnight? I mean, the villagers wake up and the wells are bone dry. The ponds completely empty. And here's the really crucial detail. This wasn't during a dry season. They had just had fantastic rainfall that year. Just the night before, the wells were actually overflowing. But by morning, the earth is parched like they'd been in a decades-long drought. It completely defies all natural logic. And this wasn't just an issue of dry dirt. We're talking about immediate, unrelenting thirst. Panic sets in instantly. When Arjun gets back from the forest, he walks into a crowd consumed by despair. For him, the absolute breaking point is seeing the young children crying. He hears a mother weeping because her baby has been thirsty since noon, and even the hidden forest ponds are totally dry. Seeing this overwhelming suffering is exactly what forces Arjun to act. Desperate for answers, he seeks out Kaki, an enigmatic 100-year-old village woman who is famous for her knowledge of herbs and miracles. Old Kachaki tells Arjun straight up, this is no natural drought. There's a dark secret at play here. She gives him a very specific 3-step mission. Step 1, cross a treacherous, deep river. Step 2, enter a completely different realm known as the mystical Kanishka forest. And Step 3, locate a legendary talking tree that holds the answers to the world's mysteries. Driven purely by love for his village, Arjun doesn't even blink. He dives right into that raging river. So after barely making it across the river, Arjun collapses, exhausted and totally lost. And that's exactly when he gets his first undeniable proof that he has crossed over into the unknown. A little mynah bird flies down, looks right at him, and speaks in a perfectly clear human voice. It says, "You are not in an ordinary forest, human. You are in a magical forest." Now, Arjun is a smart guy. He immediately connects the dots. Talking bird equals magical realm, no question. The mynah bird realizes his mission is noble and actually offers to guide him straight to that elusive talking tree. When they finally reach it, it turns out this tree isn't just some talking plant, it's a literal gateway to an alternate dimension. The tree drops a bombshell on Arjun, explaining exactly why his village is suffering. It tells him, inside me is a door to another world, where a sage is held captive by a demon. It turns out this demon magically drained all the water from Sundarpur. To save his people, Arjun has to step straight through a mesmerizing, colorful portal of light glowing inside the tree's trunk, travel to this other dimension, and confront the monster face to face. Imagine stepping through a portal of pure light and landing somewhere completely alien. Arjun finds himself standing in this massive, strange city. There are houses, there are fields, but there is an eerie, terrifying silence. There's absolutely zero human life anywhere. The source describes it as this desolate, cursed place where the tension is just palpable. Basically, the demon has eaten almost everyone, leaving the city a total ghost town. So here's Arjun wandering through the silent streets looking for a captive sage, completely unaware of the massive trap he's already walking right into. Out of nowhere, the silence breaks. Arjun hears this faint groan coming from the bushes and discovers a frail, crippled old woman. She tells him the demon ate everyone and injured her so badly she can't even walk. But she claims she knows exactly where the demon is hiding out in some nearby ruins, and she just needs him to carry her on his shoulders to show him the way. It's the perfect facade of a helpless victim. But the terrifying reality? She is the shape-shifting, flesh-eating demon herself. Acting purely out of compassion, Arjun agrees to carry her, totally oblivious to the danger. So Arjun carries this old woman deep into the dark ruins, and sure enough, he finds the sage locked inside a glowing magical cage. Arjun proudly announces he's there to defeat the demon and free him. But the sage just looks at him in sheer panic and yells, "You fool! How will you free us when the demon is sitting right on your shoulders?" At that exact moment, the frail old woman starts laughing this deep, menacing laugh. The horrifying truth suddenly clicks for Arjun. The demon never stays in its true form, and he has literally just carried the monster right into its own lair. Instantly, the physical weight of the demon on Arjun's shoulders becomes unbearably heavy. She completely fuses herself to his back. He tries with all his might to throw her off, but it's no use. And this is where she gives him a terrifying ultimatum. The demon says she will only get off his back on one single condition. Arjun has to walk to a nearby pool and fetch a magical nectar for her. If he refuses, or tries any funny business, she will instantly burn the sage to ash and let Arjun's entire village die a slow, agonizing death from thirst. He is completely cornered. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth did a super powerful demon need a humble woodcutter to go fetch some water? Well, it's because this pool is the Amrit Kund. It holds the magical nectar of immortality, and it has an intense magical security system. The demon is purely evil and greedy, so she can't even touch it. The source material is super clear on this. The demon orchestrated that entire drought specifically to lure a pure-hearted, brave, and selfless human from the mortal world to do her dirty work. She literally needed someone with real humanity to bypass the pool's deadly magic. As Arjun creeps up to the glowing golden pool, a booming voice echoes from the Amrit itself, delivering a final, terrifying warning. It declares that the water can only be drawn by someone wise, compassionate, and completely free of greed. Take it for the sake of humanity. If you do not have these qualities, you will burn to ashes. It all comes down to intent. This immense power behaves entirely based on the human intent behind it. Arjun pauses, takes a deep breath, and dips the golden urn right into the water. And he passes. Arjun fills the golden urn with the glowing nectar, and he is completely unharmed. The voice of the pool rings out, "You are truly a good human." This just solidifies everything we've known about Arjun from the jump. His inherent goodness and his pure, selfless motivation to save his thirsty village are what shield him from destruction. But now he's got a massive problem on his hands. He is holding the literal nectar of immortality, and there is a flesh-eating demon waiting to drink it and become an unstoppable eternal force of evil. So what Arjun does next is absolutely crucial. As he's walking back, he suddenly remembers this cryptic riddle the magical tree told him right before he jumped through the portal. The tree said its water can make one immortal, and throwing it can turn one to ashes. When Arjun gets back to the ruins, the demon eagerly demands the nectar. In a flash of brilliant split-second wisdom, Arjun realizes exactly what the tree meant. Instead of handing over the urn, he hurls the magical nectar directly onto the demon's body. Talk about a chain reaction. From that one brilliant move, the resolutions just cascade. Because the nectar was thrown, not drunk, its destructive power activates against the evil intent. The demon is burned to ash in seconds. Boom! The moment the demon dies, the magical cage vanishes, freeing the sage. Outside, the spell on the talking mynah bird breaks, and she transforms back into her true form, a beautiful human princess. And the best part for Arjun, the curse on his village immediately lifts, sending fresh water flooding back into the wells and ponds. Let's quickly break down the core takeaways from this incredible story. First off, true wisdom totally defeats raw power. The demon had insane magical strength, but Arjun beat her using his intellect and that tiny clue from the tree. Second, tools reflect the user's intent. The Amrit nectar could either grant eternal life or deal instant death. It was basically a mirror to the soul of the user. And finally, selfless courage breaks curses. Arjun didn't do this for glory or riches. He went because kids were crying from thirst. Oh, and funnily enough, he actually ended up marrying that princess, exactly like his uncle Balram joked about at the start. To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a provocative question to chew on, because this old fairy tale holds some serious modern truth. What Amrit, or immense power, exists in our world today that can either create life or destroy it, depending entirely on who wields it? Think about things like advanced technology, artificial intelligence, or massive scientific discoveries. Just like that magical nectar, these tools aren't inherently good or evil. They merely amplify the intent of the human holding the urn. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and definitely keep questioning the intent behind the power in your